All right there, folks. Welcome back to Campaign 17. We've got to be up to episode 18 or something like that. I believe this is the battle that might have showed up at the end of the previous episode. So this is the Battle of Paris Landing Ferry, Tennessee. Certainly no fan of brevity in that title, but that's okay. We have the numbers to make this work once all of our forces actually show up, but as has frequently been the case in Middle Tennessee in this campaign, we are going to be waiting for our forces that, they're not all together. We have not concentrated in the face of the enemy, so we got to get concentrated, and that's kind of where we hit a bit of a snag. Let us see what we get. So we end up defending. This looks like, all right, so there's a generic map. This is a very strong point to hold and not have to be able to cross. The CSA looks like it come from either of those directions and is coming up to Daniels. We're kind of coming in from over here. It's an odd place to put the to have oh, okay, so Day is there. Yeah, and so I think we get a railroad overlooking a pretty open field. Yeah, we do. So I'm gonna finagle some folks. We'll let's see here. We'll probably want something like that, and then yeah, probably something like that, and we'll push Casey because I want to find where they are. We'll push Casey up here. We're gonna move. So it's Bryce's core. We're going to move both Day and Bryce over there so that we don't have terribly long lags in our communication. We're going to take our artillery and detach it right now in case we want to give kind of whole unit orders later. All right, so we got a little bit of stuff there. And since we have quite a bit of build here. Let's do that. And let's then do, what do we want here? We want something that looks maybe like that. And then looks like that. Okay, so that's all we have. That was a bit of a blunder there, but not to worry too much. We're going to tell everybody go in a straight line. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to reset everyone. Sure enough, it did. But we at least have that out of the way now. Rousseau, we're going to put over here. Alvord? Yeah. As I so eloquently put it, Alvord is going to be here, and we're going to try to figure out. All right, they have to go back to their guns, which I'm guessing are right about here. Oops. They came with their guns. So, all right, we'll do that. They appear to already be packed. And, let's see, we'll tell the Cav to get out there and find them. Avoid a fight. And find out if they are coming from this direction. All right, so I'm going to put you all on pause while I seek out the enemy and bring you back in when we're ready. And sure enough, we found them, and they are pushing from Jordan's Ridge down here, so we're actually going to order our Cav back. We don't need them here. We're going to move Day back. We'll move Bryce back. Yeah, sorry there, Halleck. All right, so apparently both batteries came up, and we definitely don't want that. Yeah, I would order you to move. I don't know if I forgot to do that or what. All right, so you're going to go there. That's fine. We're going to let them complete that movement. And that looked like it was probably 30,000. So the whole thing. Hopefully our reinforcements when they arrive don't arrive too far forward. Okay, we're running. I think with Rousseau here, we're just going to put them like that. Gibbon, we're going to make sure is in contact with that. I think the batteries probably make sense like that. And then for you all, maybe we stick you right there. Okay, we do that, and we wait for the CSA to engage us. All right, I bring you back to show you a little bit of an update. So we are refinagling ourselves here to try to go wide. We're down by about 50%. So they have 30,000 men or so. We got 20,000, and it is going to be 22 hours before we get reinforcements. The only bit of good news here. So these are still pretty long days here in late August. That's not good news, but if we do make it to the end of this day, several hours should be covered by nightfall, and that means that our fellow forces should arrive somewhere in the battlefield at about noon to tomorrow. If they arrived here, that would be great. This would be okay as well. This would be less good. This would not be helpful at all in the short term. So we'll have to wait and see where those reinforcements come from. We've put both of our batteries. We've told them to bombard here. This is really not a fight I care to take. If they're just going to outrange me, we'll go prone with our units there. If the casualties get too heavy, we will just straight up fall back. But I like holding the fence there. It feels like, we'll get a little bit extra bonus. Of course, in the mods I've made. Skirmishing is still worth it, but it's not nearly as good as it is in vanilla. All right, we're gonna have to switch these guys back to fire at will because the AI has figured out what we're up to, and so fire at will is what we need to do. We're gonna stay prone here. They're gonna move through their skirmishers, which is okay. It's kind of what they ought to be doing, I think. We are going to go with long range here, and well, we're going to go with skirmishers. I haven't set them to long range yet. Okay, if we are firing, we're going to continue doing that. If for no other reason, then I believe we fire slower. All right, so we're still working through our order here to fire at will. That's okay. We are definitely playing for time. Again, with the overnight... Oh. I realized I forgot to turn down your volumes. So I've now turned down the in-game volume, so I wasn't saying much before. But waiting is on our side. If we run out of ammo with these guys, it's okay. We have the overnight resupply. So not only does that take hours off of our reinforcement time, or basically hours that we're not in combat that we're waiting for reinforcements, but the overnight resupply should certainly help. Okay, we're going to move that bombardment target there. And so if we expend all of our ammo, that is perfectly fine with us. And we'll give them that bombardment target. Again, it's at range for those Napoleons, but as you can see, it's not terrible. Make sure the caissons are full. It's not bad advice. It's what I would recommend too. But so far, this is the only engagement. I think the CSA is doing the right thing, except they're not doing it. So I am gonna help them out a bit because they are not moving as well as they ought to. And frankly, their skirmishers are more of a hindrance. They're going to obstruct shots. And so we're just going to put those extra skirmishers back in their lines so that they are shooting. Overall, this is a trade that we want with this cav. We want to be wasting time, and we want it being 1v1. I don't know what range. So they're at long range, which is mistake in my view. They really need to close the gap here. You can see that they're right, it's 285 casualties. I think over 300. They've got to move up. I will try everything I can to get them to move up a bit. But if I'm them, as soon as we get our force together, and let's see, you got Jones here. He does not have Maynards. That's a lie. But you got Plains Rifles, and Mississippi Rifles. You should, right? If you have to take an engagement, this should be one you should be happy to take. And honestly, if they weren't, and they were firing at long range, and we were prone, they should have stopped and probably shot us before we got to them. So we have skirmishers here. Obviously, let's do the skirmisher thing. It's to waste time. I think it's kind of a self-imposed house rule. I'll try not to kick them out again. But the idea is that if this cav is broke or is forced to pull back, the reason why I put them on the right, well, I don't want to corner camp on the left here, but also we have a big open field. We can always fall back across. And that just, if they pursue us, they're further away from what really matters. And that's okay with me. I'm thinking about maybe moving the whole line over a little bit. And I don't know. I kind of thought they would just come down this road. So that has got to be, well, it is bad news for us. But we now need to pull back. Unfortunately, you know, as Cav go, I don't even know if they held things up there for 2 hours. But if we're going to move them back, we also need to move the artillery back. And looking at how they seem to be forming up, I think I am going to reorient us a bit. If they were more or less hugging this road, I wouldn't be doing this, but we're going to call back our skirmishers right now, which haven't engaged. Are these guys actually doing anything? All right, they claim to be bombarding. Yeah, I don't see any evidence of that. We'll move them up to the creek bed to make sure that, well, we'll move them up there to keep them closer to the road. Yeah, Hunt did not take a lot of casualties. As a house rule, I try not to allow my units to remain in combat if they've run out of ammo, because the game kind of gives them a soft infinite ammo, which, I don't know, I don't really care for that. So, yeah, we will try to withdraw now that we are low on ammo. Again, I think they're actually Maynards. Yeah, they are. All right, so they're going to order David Jones up. You can see that Helm, though, took a beating. But if he's able to rest and get back in, he has a lot more fight in him. And Fry got through that with none because they kind of used Drayton as... Oh, wait, were there two? No, I guess it just always was Drayton. They used Drayton as the meat shields. All right, we see they're already shooting at us. That's why we had that morale penalty. I believe, yeah, under artillery fire. So we'll move back. I also generally, I'm trying not to charge my cavalry. It still seems really good in this game. And not that I'll never do it, but if I do, I'll usually try to charge skirmishers or artillery. Even though I'm pretty confident we could win against their infantry, we don't have to. All right, they wisely are not pursuing this cav. And so, yeah, I don't have much in the way of a complaint department with how the AI handled that, except that they probably should have went in with all three brigades. But I don't know that they can actually do it. And we're going to speed things up so you don't have to kind of watch, I would say, Grassgrove. Maybe not even. I guess at this point in the year, we're looking at Leave's turn. And, all right, I'm not really sure what that's about at all, but it ain't my force. We're going to straighten everybody up here, make sure that we're getting the maximum cover we can. All right, move you up there, and then move you up there. I think a lot of times the AI is kind of drawn like moth to a flame to the objective point, and that's fine. I mean, I wish the objectives mattered a bit more in vanilla, but don't aim, just shoot and move, right? That's that classic advice you get here. All right, we'll put those guys back in battery. All right, so we're not quite in, even though I think we are set to use cover. Use cover, yeah, but they're not. Actually, I don't even know how they're not getting it from being in those breastworks. As odd as it is, it usually counts as long as like any part of a unit is touching it. They'll get credit for it. If they are bombarding, that's okay. That's, you know, it's a bombardment. That's what it does. These guys are also set to bombard, and I think certainly for parrots that's okay. All right, if they're going to continue to pursue, we are going to fall back. Bring them with us, and we'll put out our skirmishers since we haven't used them. Oh no. And looks like the AI might have tricked me here, because they now do seem to be going where I thought they would, which is kind of along this road. Again, we have some here. We want to focus more on the immediate threats. Oh, David Jones. If you've ever watched this channel for years and years, David Jones just cannot win with me. Whether he's fighting under me or against me, he has a bad time of it. So, I salute you, David Jones. You have put up with a lot. Oh, wait. Oh, the second I thought I was going to change their bombardment target, they all clump up right where we were shooting. But yeah, I still want to focus on the more immediate threat. It is 3 p.m. My guess is there's at least 5 hours of fighting. And quite probably more than that. So I think it's going to be a little crowded over here. So we're gonna take that. But otherwise, we're gonna play it slow. We're gonna move up to 2x here. Let's see. This battery has nothing. This battery has no... Well, they have no perks is what I mean. And let us just make sure we're all getting the embankment cover. We are. We're still behind as expected. Or at least as I expected. The only other time I would probably push out skirmishers again is if they push skirmishers onto me. But otherwise, I'm inclined to just... Yeah, I mean, they still have units moving there, so we'll keep that target. We're probably going to have to change that one sometime soon. And I'm going to drag these guys back, because remember, Cav, even if they run out of ammo, aside from charging the other side's artillery, which I will think about, if you keep them like right here, they're going to give morale buffs probably to those middle 4 brigades, which are going to be under pressure. And they will need all the help that they can get. Yeah, I was tempted to have these guys lay down. Again, just to prolong this fight. We're really trying to make it to overnight. These guys aren't being shot at, so I'm okay with them continuing to stand. But the goal here is just to waste time. Alright. Those targets are no longer good. Or not the most important, even if they have other troops I can't see moving into those. Not the most important. Alright. The AI should be advancing behind their own skirmisher screen, or they could push up like that. It's not terrible, but I don't know if I can override their orders. But my advice to them would be to focus on at least medium range and to use skirmishers. And frankly, after that, you know what? They probably... I was thinking about putting them in a single line. Although at this point, if they just push, they should be fine. I'm gonna wait for them to get those orders, and you know, if I still don't like how things are going, then all right. So I'm gonna pull my artillery back. And the reason is that these guys are just gonna pull back to here. And then if they come up, they can't just shoot the artillery with infantry, because even though you might think it's nice to try to shoot canister into them, the infantry end up winning that trade. And they'll trade 100, 200 casualties to knock out a battery, which otherwise would generate a lot of value over the course of a map. Course of a battle. By just plodding away. And in, you know, in terms of batteries using their ammunition more quickly, again, because we have the overnight resupply, this doesn't concern me. I think we're on track to run out well before nightfall comes, but that's, again, I'm not concerned about that. These guys are really making mistakes here. Alright. Here, I'm going to give you the best advice I can, which is just assault mode. They're taking some reasonable steps, but I think I would do more. We're going to pull this battery back. As much as I would love to sit there and bombard, I don't want that battery getting hit. Okay, our other one over here is all lined up. That's fine. Just going to tell them to shoot at that, but we are going to give them a bombardment order here. Alright, so my guys still have the embankment bonus, it says. I would move back and lay down. Because again, we are just hunkering down. Okay, they've moved back. We got a blob here, so we're gonna bombard that blob. Then we got a choice to make. Do we want to shoot them? Or do we just want to go prone, get shot, and force them to come in to us? I'm not sure. And I think I'm going to do with this cav what I said earlier so that I don't have to kind of do the thing I said I didn't want to do. And we'll bring them back here, and we'll just provide that morale bonus to the middle of our formation, where there is a gap larger than I would like here. Huh. Alright, well, we're facing the right way now. Well, I spoke too soon. That's almost right. I'm going to drop that a little bit closer. Now, if we can still reach them, it's hard to say. Yeah, I'll just leave it at it's hard to say. Okay, Rousseau is there. We're going to move Bryce here. We're going to move Day here as well. Our division commanders, good spots. I think this is as good as we can get, and this is kind of what we were assuming might happen. I thought maybe there'd be a bit more over here. I think if they concentrated and just pushed one division after another here, this would be a lot more fruitful for them. And if they followed the creek bed down, they would get, I think, a 20% bonus. The embankment, I believe, is more than 20%, but they also have 50% manpower advantage before my reinforcements arrive. All right, so let's see. We set assault. They set assault. All right, they're saying attack, assault, and attack. Well, some are assaulting, some are attacking, and you can see the, here. For right now, we'll shoot them, and then we'll turn to deal with them in just a moment. Oof. Barnes is getting lit up. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. They are really having trouble. I bet it's because this division is on attack and not assault. They're having real trouble pressing forward here. This is a concern, even though they've taken casualties and they're kind of taking themselves out of the fight for a while. It is a concern. Alright, we're going to try to drop that bombardment right there, square on 4 brigades. And I still like that one, so I'm going to keep it. See how much XP they've gotten? That should give us some... Oh, they've gotten almost the whole perk. And they only got 13 non-canister shots left. And they have 18 non-canister shots left. But they do have 16 canisters should they need it. And I think with these guys, we're going to straighten them up in the hopes that they don't take any flanking fire. I think we're going to lay down. Yeah, we're going to put out less of a punch, but we're also going to be around a bit longer. And I guess these guys, it looks like these guns are aiming at them, hence that smoke. Crook is low on ammo. That's got to be a battery. I think, or... Oh, it was the skirmishers who just routed. Alright. Alright. These guys are just going to get them as a target. Honestly, what these guys need to do is get into the fight. Same thing with these guys. Oh, no. No, no, no. What are you doing? Well, that I understand. That I understand. Okay, these guys now need to get up. And this brigade is now going to move over here because I'm concerned about the center. Alright. You know what? Yeah, just use that as a bombardment target. Apologies for the friendly fire. Alright. Don't be laying down when you go into melee. They look like they're trying to avoid that fight now. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna get that cav down and try to get whatever we can get going. Helm is stable, but that usually means not stable for long. Alright, we are in a melee there. We are confident. They are confident as well. And we have been dragged into that melee now. So I think what we need to do is, yeah, fall back. And they routed us. Well, a good time to charge would be now, I would think. We don't normally do it, but we do have Cav just sitting there, so. Alright, they routed, so then we're going to fall back. And we're now going to move these guys to try to plug that gap as fast as they can. Alright, having defeated whatever was over here before, we're going to move them up. Meat is in decent shape. Alright, they're confident for now. Alright, we're just going to tell them to shoot at that group. And then just have them lay down to take fewer casualties. Hopefully they get the message to move up. Those guys are nervous. Are we out of ammo? Yep, we are. So what I will do is I will just bring this battery back here. I have 10 rounds of ammo left with these guys. Let's put them to use. I think we're going to hold in the center. I know, I just had to say it, but I think we are. These guys are going to get killed if they stay out here. And so already things have kind of turned in our favor. Alright, Seymour is in danger of breaking. We're actually going to have them hold because it looks like there might be a renewed push here on my left. Alright, and these guys, well, apparently they're going to come in for a charge. It did not look like that. I can't imagine we have that much ammo left. That might be inside their canister range. I'm not sure. And I think Seymour kind of just has to eat it for right now. The same goes for Meat out here. We can't really leave. I don't think we can leave. And it looks like they're calling off their charge, but I'm not calling off mine. I feel like if we get in here, use our last 10 rounds, that should put Helm pretty close to breaking so that if he does go to melee, they may just rout on loss resilience. nothing else, and that would be okay with me. I actually wonder if anybody here has perks. You can see that Seymour has been involved. It's not their first fight, but you can tell by the perk progress. They've done something. Alright, we'll just give them that faster move order. If they're not going to face us, I'm not worried about it. Okay, they are facing us, so I am going to worry about it. There we go. Alright, they claim to be firing, so that's fine. Seymour is supported. He's got commanders nearby. Hunt, that was the cavalry. I know he's in the wrong branch here, but whatever. They probably don't like getting shot in the flank, but it's at long range. That's a real mistake. Yeah. No, we don't want to do that. We'll get here, and that'll be it. Alright. 7 rounds of ammo. Yeah, they're not liking that flanking fire. They're actually okay on ammo at 24 rounds each. Okay. To try to relieve some of that pressure on Seymour, we'll send them up. And actually, alright, these guys already have shots. That's good. I was going to say, let's try to come up a little bit closer. But you know what? We'll just shoot them. These guys were out. They did not. Okay. Alright, so if we're out of ammo, I think I'm just going to limber the guns, so I'm not within canister range, so I'm just going to limber them up so they can't shoot. And if we start to get counterbatted, we can just get out of there. Alright, so we have gone out of ammo. And, okay, helm broke, so we're not going to pursue. But we are going to move back to the center here. And then dismount so that we can give that morale buff to our friendlies. Alright, these guys need to come up. Yeah, we got to send lots of folks up to try to help. Take some of the pressure off of Seymour. I don't know what the AI is going to do here overnight. I guess we'll find out. I'm wondering if they would pull out, knowing what the reinforcement situation is, and knowing that, you know, we're going to have, my side's going to have more ammo and all that other stuff the next day, and they're just going to have to repeat this. I don't know what the estimated casualties are. It's about 2-to-1 in our favor. So overall, they're still going to have a numbers advantage, but... And actually, in relative terms, it might be pretty comparable to yesterday, or to the beginning of today. If they were able to pull back and get a quick attack off, I think they would do really all right. Jones is going to go through his lost resilience. Hampton actually is not, despite standing in a field, but they have Mississippi, so they're fighting at range. And I don't even know if that matters at that point, but they should probably get out. Hampton, I know you haven't actually been ordered to retreat, but if you don't, you're going to get left holding the bag here, and that's not what you want. Yeah, not getting Jones out of there faster was silly, because once you go through lost resilience, You're not supposed to come back. Unlike other types of routing. So, yeah, it was a failure to coordinate there on the part of the CSA side. It started out really good. I thought they had a really good press. They had a really good build-up. And then I think they got stuck too long on some of those skirmishers. They weren't all in assault formation, and they should have been. And honestly, just assaulting this position and coming along the creek, and then holding their second division, the division that was over here, holding that as a kind of reserve with artillery over here, so that if I came up, they would just hit me in the side, but otherwise they could just steamroll with numbers all the way down. That, I think, would have been a much better play. I'm going to move it up to 5x, since it should just be them retreating at this point. We're going to call off this pursuit, because we don't have that much of a numbers advantage. If they want to shoot us, they can, yeah, certainly take out their rage on us, but we're just going to go prone. Many of them in cover. And let them expend their ammo if that's what they're choosing to do here. Yeah, and that is what they're choosing to do, and that's perfectly fine with me. Okay, you're over there. We will have you guys go prone. Yeah, that'll be that, and you're not supposed to run it up to 20x. So I'm just going to put it on pause while the AI figures out what it wants to do, and if there's more to show you, I'll show you. All right, so we are on day 2. They did not pull back. I think a fresh day means we can throw out a second set of skirmishers. I don't think it's too cheating, and the AI is too. We got artillery back, which is great. I think we got some. Yeah, we got some ammo there. It's fine. These guys are kind of still trying to figure out their direction. We put them back here. This is kind of a, I don't know if it's a high-risk strategy, but it is a bit riskier putting them over there. You know, I'm actually kind of okay with that bombardment target. But for the most part, we have 4 infantry brigades that are still, I think, viable for a while. Barnes is heavily beat up, as is Seymour. If I could click on Seymour, yeah, you can see that is Seymour. We'll probably put Seymour over here and maybe move Barnes up a little bit to here. Henry, but he's got 32 rounds. So, I mean, as Cav goes, that can be pretty solid holding down the right side. It looks like the big push is actually here on day 2, the push I kind of expected on day 1. And good thing that we repositioned ourselves to be a little bit closer over here to be ready for that. I didn't know that's what they were going to do, but it was kind of what I thought would be the worst case scenario. We should get reinforcements. So it's going to be 5 hours. So yeah, pretty much noon is when they're expected to arrive, and from where will be the question, but I imagine their morale, yeah, I expected to be a little bit closer today. I figured their morale would probably be back. And again, we just want to prolong this fight as much as we can. So we're going to put these guys down, and we will trade casualties for time, because we are going to get a lot more manpower if we can get to the point where we actually get some time back. So that's why I'm okay with doing that. I'm actually wondering, Cav is really quick mounted. So if we put these guys back here, I was finagling with some stuff when you all were on pause. Cav has to be pretty close to give the morale buff to everyone. But that would give it to almost everyone. And, you know, even commander placement and all that other stuff matters. So we'll move you. Yeah, and I think Bryce is the only one who has to kind of move over a little bit. But yeah, I think that this is the best we will get. My intention is, as beat up as Seymour is, we can probably throw some skirmishers out and maybe just hold the brigade back. I'd prefer not to commit it. Here's Henry Halleck. Look, Halleck is in the artillery. Can you imagine him constantly reminding you of how much each shell costs and not to waste ammo? And you know, Hunt's leading the cavalry, so I don't think he'd have to hear from Halleck about that. Not sure what they're doing with this artillery. I don't know what the plan was there. And these guys are shooting. I would encourage them to save their ammo. But it's Meade. I had zero chance of convincing him to do anything. But we'll get our cab down. We'll get it loose. And I think we just got to hunker down, and all you have to do on your end is watch and see if I blunder this worse than the AI. Yeah, this is the kind of attack I was thinking. Uh-oh. What just happened? Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. I have no idea what I might have pressed. Your guess is as good as mine. Yet again, you all need to stop. You need to be there. I mean, those explosions look like they're hitting in about the right place. Alright, so we got a perk, so we're definitely going to go with Grand Battery, since we're just shooting at kind of clumps of stuff. Alright, these guys don't have it yet. That's okay. Oh, there... I couldn't figure out... I was like, I'm missing a brigade. I had 4. Like, did I throw one away there? It does sound like me. Wow, that's all it took to get them to retreat? Well then, I guess we have a conclusion, and it looks like it's about the 1 hour mark here of this video, so... I wonder what it was. It was probably just their relative casualties. They probably went over that threshold, whatever it is, 27, 28, 29%, something like. Lower. Maybe they were more green than I thought. Alright, so since I'm not really going to pursue them, I don't really care about. You do not have to march all day. Oh, that's right. We're still bombarding the same old spot. Oh, no, we're not. They went to fire at will on their own. That's actually good, yeah. All right, 7,500 to 3,100, so a little bit better than 2 to 1. All right, and the papers tell us they got 1,000, basically 3,000 that aren't coming back. We have 355 that aren't coming back for sure. And then all that other stuff. Our supply situation has gone critical, which is interesting. So, whose is that? No, it wasn't Kelly. It was Bryce over here, wasn't it? Yeah, Kelly was supposed to come in. Right, but we took the fort. There is a supply depot there, so I think it's coming. Right, it's in the mail. Oops, there's no flag to select there. So, all right, that's fine. Any other flags to a point? No. All right, well, oh, it looks like. Hold on. Let's not be in scouting. There we go. So you're not in scouting. Yeah, you're not in scouting either. But it looks like we have a battle lined up for the next episode. Is that right? They look like they're bringing 25,000 men to the West Virginia militia, who also has 25,000 men. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to. We'll see if they pull in reinforcements from anywhere else. We're clearly going to try to. Abbott being where he is. I don't know that Day is going to arrive in time. Let's see if we can give him different methods of transport here. We'll move him over there. Glorious victory in Wilmington. James River Squadron retreating. That should be the AI. That might just be a bug. All right. I think that's a good place to end this one.